So you've seen the laminate flooring. It's super cheap and you think, I bet I could do that myself. The question is, what tools do I need? Well, here are the answers. These are the tools you absolutely, really positively are going to want to have. You may get extra things, but if you're trying to do it on a budget, let me just tell you, this knock bar and mallet and pry bar are typically available there in your local big box store. You're going to want them. If you see a kit and you're like not sure about it, buy it. You're going to buy them all anyways. Get these. You're going to need it. I promise you. Next is you got to have a good square and a good pencil, of course. Tape measure. If you are using a circular saw, a little handheld circular saw, the laminate flooring puts out dust like nobody's business. So do it in a well-ventilated area and wear your safety glasses or you're going to go blind. And then work gloves. I cannot overemphasize how much I need work gloves doing the floorings. I don't know if you can see it, but I helped my friend last night finish up hers, and I've got a huge blister on my finger because I forgot to put my gloves on before I went over there and just was messing with the flooring with my bare hands. Now, if you're used to doing lots of work and you've got hardy, strong, calloused hands, the work gloves could be optional, but I think they're super helpful and will cut down on the number of blisters and cuts from the wood. And yes, the wood will cut you when you're trying to bang it in. Well, I'm getting a late start on this because I slept way longer than I expected. But here's the floor as it currently stands. I've got, this is laminate in the kitchen. This is paper floor glued down onto cement with a bunch of polyurethane over it. And that's another color of laminate in the entryway. So hopefully by the time I'm done, the whole thing will be one uniform color at the very least and level as well. I couldn't find this style of floor anymore, but I did find something similar that's the same color. So I'm going to try and put it all together. I've moved all the furniture from one side of the room to the other, and you can see the flooring stacked up over there. I don't know how I'm going to do this. The underlayment. But I'm just going to get started. No time like the present. Daylight's wasting. Stay tuned. And the part I've been avoiding all day, ripping up the existing entryway flooring so that I can match it with the stuff that we're putting in. This is way thicker than what we're putting down, so I'm actually very nervous about it. Getting that entryway floor up was a lot of work. It actually took 3 of us because it was one huge piece glued together, probably at least a 1/4 inch, if not closer to almost 1/2 inch thick, solid, good, high quality wood. As you can see, I couldn't just throw it out, so I've used it to wall off portions of my shed, stuck some old insulation behind it, and reused it. So it wasn't a waste of the really great wood, and though it was work to do, I really like how it's turned out. So back to the much slower going than I had expected. The transition from the old to the new is minimal, so I think it works. I am dog tired, but I can't go anymore tonight. I'll hit it again tomorrow. Moving furniture back around so that we can do the rest of the floors. Woohoo! We have the entryway pretty much done. And now it's time to start pulling it back out into the rest of the living room. Yay. I did want to stop and do a quick shout out to my Centipede Workhorse. I won it almost 2 years ago on Summer's Woodworking 2x4 Challenge, and it has been such a huge blessing. Set it up outside, enjoy the nice warm Texas February day, and cut flooring. Don't let anyone tell you that snap together flooring is easy. There are 15,000 ways to do it wrong and make it hard. I've learned several. So close, and I can't go anymore. It'll have to wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna take some pain pills and some allergy pills. Oh, I feel like such a winner, like a smart person finally. So I've got just a little bit left that's only about an inch wider than the normal boards that I need to cover up, right? And because everything else is staggered, I cut 1-inch strips and put them onto other boards, hoping I had measured correctly. Which, okay. But to piece it all together, I had to slide it like a huge jigsaw puzzle that you didn't actually click together until the end. And so I had the whole wall with all the regular size board and then a 1-inch strip on the end. And there was this little gap in the middle that I left, and I just hammered it together and everything smashed in and perfect, matched up and everything. So I just have this one corner last piece in here, and then I am done. Okay, I'm sure there's a purpose for it, and maybe if I actually read instructions or something, but this thing that comes on the side of the underlayment, it has been nothing but a pain. I've actually started just cutting it off and get so much better results with just cutting it off and then using duct tape. I don't even know why they put it on here. Probably to upcharge me another 5 cents a square foot or something. Anyways, if you can find underlayment without that, or if you actually know how to use it correctly, excellent. If not, cut it off. So as you can see, it's all one level here, and then all the way through and in there. Granted, I'm filming this wrap up 5 months after I put the floor in, but I guess that shows you how well it's held up. I did put molding down all the way around just to cover up the gaps around the end of the floor. That's the thing about this kind of flooring, is you want to make sure that you leave some room around the edge, but if you leave too much, then you wind up with issues. So here's an example of an issue. I've got just a little bit of floor that is not pushed up against the wall, and the molding isn't big enough to cover it. So now stuff gets down in there, and I tried to come up with a solution, and in the end decided that I was just going to live with it. So keep that in mind. Yes, you want a gap, but you definitely don't want too much gap. So all in all, I'm very happy with it. The dogs seem to like it, although they have a hard time walking on it because it's so slippery. But definitely, if you're considering it, it's worth the time and expense.